Hey, I'm Dan. I'm the production roaster here at Crosby Coffee. Today we're going to show you how to brew with the AeroPress. So a few things you're going to need before you start. You're going to need some scales with a timer, just something to wipe surfaces down in case there's any spillages, a spoon. You're going to need a brewing vessel, the AeroPress itself, filter papers. You're going to need some filtered water, or as we call it, crispy water, and 14 grams of medium to medium fine coffee. So the coffee that we're using today is a washed typica from Yirgacheffe in Ethiopia. So Yirgacheffe has a really light and fruity aroma to it. It's very floral. It's got some lovely sweet notes of black tea, some lychee and some peach as well. So the AeroPress itself, this is actually what comes in the box. So you get a plastic stirrer, you get the filter cap. The AeroPress is two parts, so the plunger and the vessel or chamber. You get a little funnel to load your coffee in, and you get about 300 filter papers and a little holder for it as well. So I love the AeroPress, it's really compact. It's great for traveling. When I go camping, I take it with me all the time. Yeah, there's a lot you can do with it. There's a lot of different recipes that you can make. So let's get started. So the method we're going to be using today is the inversion method. Traditionally, AeroPresses sit on top of the brewer and you pour into them like this. With the inversion method, it's upside down and it's more of an immersion brew. So to set up, you want your plunger halfway up the 4 icon on the chamber. This just gives you a little bit of wiggle room at the bottom. So we're going to brew with water straight from the boil, so as hot as possible. So while our water's boiling, I'm going to grind our coffee. So before we grind the coffee, I'm just going to add a little bit of water to the beans, and that just helps with the static, so we don't have grinds going everywhere. So the grind that we're aiming for here is a medium to medium fine. So that's somewhere around table salt. Okay, so we're good to go. Our water's boiled, we've got our coffee. We're just going to load it into the AeroPress now. Before we do that, make sure your scales are zeroed. So we're going for 14 grams of coffee to 230 grams of water. So with this method, because it's an immersion brew, we don't really need to do anything fancy. We're just going to pour the water in a single pour as fast as we can. So start your timer and pour away. Once you've got all the water in, you can give it a stir. So you want to be gentle but thorough, so just make sure everything's getting mixed together. We can take the AeroPress off the scales now, but just keep your eye on the timer. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to wait 3 minutes and the coffee is just going to steep. So while we're waiting for our coffee to brew, we'll pre-wet our filter papers. The reason for doing this is two reasons. One, we're pre-wetting the filter paper and we're washing out any papery taste that may or may not be there. And also, we're preheating our vessel, and that just helps maintain consistency in temperature throughout the brew. So we're approaching the 3 minute mark on the brew, so just before we get there, we're going to give it one more stir. Make sure everything's mixed together. And we can pop the cap on now. And I'm just going to squeeze out any excess air that's in there. Okay, so this is the trickiest part, usually where it goes wrong. We're going to pop the vessel on top and we're going to flip the brewer over. Just before we plunge, we're going to give it a little swirl. What that does is it just takes any coffee that may be sticking to the sides of the brewer and it evens the bed out as well. Now we can plunge. As you can see, I'm not pressing really hard. Should be quite easy. You just want to take your time with it. It should take around 30 seconds. So another great thing about the AeroPress is how easy it is to clean. As part of its design, it's quite airtight, which allows for it to be really easy to clean up after finishing. So you just unscrew the cap and then you usually hold it over a bin and you just push down and you pop out what looks like a little coffee puck. All you need to do then is just give it a little wipe and a rinse under the tap and you're good to go again. So we'll just give this coffee a little try. So yeah, it's got that really nice delicate tea aroma. There's a little bit of jasmine in there. Really sweet, really enjoyable. So that's pretty much it. That's how we brew with the AeroPress. I hope this video has helped you today and thanks for watching.